If you drink a full glass of water right before bed tonight, you are making a mistake that could cost you your independence. I am not exaggerating. I have watched strong, sharp, proud men and women lose the ability to live in their own home because of one tiny, overlooked habit that happens between 8 o'clock and midnight. They get up once, then twice, then 3 times. Their legs weaken, their minds fog, a fall arrives, and just like that, a life of dignity can shatter. This script is going to show you the exact water rhythm that protects your bladder, your sleep, and your future. Stay with me, because the #1 secret is saved for the very end, and it is the one piece of advice I have never seen printed in any pamphlet. We are living through a modern crisis that nobody is naming out loud. Older adults are being told to drink more water, and they are following that advice with the best intentions. They carry a bottle everywhere. They sip on the couch. They sip during the movie. They sip right before brushing their teeth. What they do not realize is that the bladder is not a steel tank. It is a small, stretchy pouch, shaped like a deflated balloon that holds about the same amount of liquid as a coffee mug. When that pouch fills faster than the body can process it, pressure builds. The brain gets a signal. The signal says, wake up. And once the wake-up signal begins at night, it does not politely stop. It escalates. Over months, the deep, healing sleep that rebuilds your memory and your immune system quietly evaporates. You begin to feel older than you are. That is not aging. That is a water timing mistake. Let me pause here because this is the first decision point in your night. I want you to look at the person sitting next to you. If they are over 60, there is a strong chance they have stumbled to the bathroom in the dark this week. Now type in the one word that describes how that made you feel. Just one word: scared, tired, determined. Whatever it is, write it down. That single word is your fuel for the rest of this writing. Here is the first hidden factor, and it has a name that sounds like a science experiment but acts like a quiet thief. It is called nocturnal polyuria, which is simply a fancy phrase for your body making too much urine while you sleep. The problem is that most people believe drinking causes urine. That is true. But what they miss is that the timing of the drink decides where the urine ends up. If you pour water into a busy factory at noon, the workers handle it. If you pour it in at midnight, the factory is closed and the bucket overflows. The agitation is real. People who wake 2 or 3 times a night have a 40% higher chance of falling. A broken hip at 70 often means a wheelchair by 72. That is how fast independence can disappear. Let me tell you about Arthur. Arthur was a retired postman from Ohio. Sharp eyes, silver hair. He walked 3 miles every morning for 20 years. He came to see me because he was suddenly getting up 4 times a night and felt dizzy by lunch. His urine was clear. He thought clear meant healthy, but clear meant he was flooding his bladder right before bed. We looked at his routine and discovered he was drinking his last full glass of water at 10:30, then brushing his teeth at 11 and then lying down. His bladder never had a chance to empty before sleep. The resolution was almost embarrassingly simple. We moved his last meaningful sip to 7 in the evening. Within 9 days, Arthur was sleeping 5 straight hours without a bathroom trip. His morning dizziness disappeared. He did not need a new pill. He needed a clock. Now think about the cup you used today. Was the last one close to bedtime? If so, you just identified the first shift you can make tonight. Type the word shift if you heard yourself in Arthur. That one word tells me you are paying attention, and that is the only thing that will protect your future. Here is the second hidden factor, and this one hides inside the evening itself. It is the diuretic trap. A diuretic is simply a food or drink that tells your kidneys to flush faster. The problem is that many of the comforts people reach for after dinner are quietly wearing the label of a flushing agent. Coffee is obvious. Tea is obvious, but chocolate, certain herbal blends, and even a small glass of wine can whisper to the kidneys the same way a storm whispers to a river. The agitation comes from the disconnect. People think they are being responsible by skipping the coffee after 4 p.m., then reward themselves with a little dessert wine at 8, never realizing the wine is doing the exact same flushing job. They still get up twice. They blame age. Age is not the thief. The sip is. Let me bring in Martha. Martha was a retired schoolteacher from Vermont, petite, quick to laugh. She had been a tea lover her whole life and saw no reason to stop. Her doctor told her to cut caffeine, and she did proudly, so she switched to a nighttime herbal blend she found at the grocery store. The box promised calm sleep. For the first 3 nights, she felt calmer. Then the bathroom trips began. By week 2, she was up at 1 and at 3. I asked her to bring the box. We read the label together. Somewhere in the fine print, buried beneath flowers and sunshine language, sat a leaf called Uva ursi, a gentle herb with a powerful flushing effect. The resolution was not to abandon tea. The resolution was to choose a blend that did not contain leaf-style flushing agents and to finish the cup by 6 in the evening. 2 weeks later, Martha was sleeping a full 6 hours. Her laugh came back. Her posture came back. Her confidence came back. The leaf did not defeat her. Knowledge did. Before we move forward, I need you to grab your phone and look at any tea, wine, or herbal drink in your kitchen. Read the label. If you see any leaf you cannot pronounce, that is your clue. Type the word label in the comments. You just did the second piece of detective work that the big systems never invite you to do. Here is the third hidden factor, and it is the one I believe most people have never been told. It is the gravity confusion. As the day goes on, fluid that has been sitting in your legs and ankles slowly drains back upward into your bloodstream. When you lie flat at night, your body processes that returning fluid and turns it into urine. This is called third spacing, and it is ordinary. The problem is that many seniors spend the late afternoon and evening sitting for long stretches. The fluid pools. The agitation is that even if you did everything right with your water timing, a quiet lake of fluid in your legs can still flood your bladder at 2 in the morning. The threat is invisible because the swelling is invisible to the eye. Let me tell you about Henry. Henry was a former machinist from Michigan, big hands, big heart. He came in because his ankles looked like risen bread by dinner. He had been told to drink more water for his blood pressure, which he did all day into the evening. His legs carried the extra load. When he lay down, his heart sent that pooled fluid uphill into his blood, into his kidneys. The resolution was not to stop drinking water. Water is still his friend. The resolution was a 30-minute walk after dinner and a simple elevation of his legs on a small stool for 20 minutes at 7 p.m. Henry did this for 2 weeks. The swelling dropped. The nightly bathroom visits dropped from 3 to 1. He now sleeps a deep, unbroken sleep. He did not lose water. He simply moved it before bedtime. This is the moment to ask yourself, do my ankles ever look puffy by dinner? If the answer is yes, the next 3 nights are the perfect test. Walk for 20 minutes after your evening meal and prop your feet up before 8. Type MOVED if you promise yourself you will try it. Each movement you make tonight is one piece of the puzzle that the big systems never handed you in a brochure. We are now approaching the halfway point of this masterclass, and I need to drop my first cliffhanger. Everything I have shared so far is the foundation. But 3 more hidden factors are coming, and they build on each other like rungs of a ladder. The number 1 secret, the one sentence your doctor may never have said out loud, is being held back for the very end. If you stop reading now, you will miss the single change that ties every other change into one calm, unbreakable system. Keep going. Here is the 4th hidden factor, and it lives inside your salt drawer. Sodium is a quiet puppet master. The problem is that the evening meal is often the saltiest meal of the day. Bread, soup, sauces, canned vegetables, and cured meats all push salt numbers skyward. When salt rises in the blood, the body holds water to balance it, like a sponge holding liquid to stay soft. The agitation is that this held water does not just sit in your veins. It cycles through your kidneys while you lie flat. The result is a bladder that fills long after you set down the water glass. I remember a couple, Alina and Walter, who ate the same dinner every Sunday for 40 years. Soup from a can, bread and butter, roast beef. Alina began waking twice a night. Walter slept like a stone, same house, same bed, same water schedule. The difference was salt load. Alina loved